Shana Tova. I love movies about football. Which of these is your favorite? The Longest Yard? Not the remake with Adam Sandler, the original with Burt Reynolds. Maybe Rudy. It's about the undersized underdog kid with an enormous heart, humility, and endless drive, who ultimately gets his moment on the field for Notre Dame. And how about Jerry Maguire, where the football agent Tom Cruise comes back for Renee Zellweger, who spoke the memorable words, "You had me at hello," an endearing scene for softies for love stories. I am a softie too, and Cantor Josh had me at shalom when we first met. Cantor, you have inspired me and taught me in the few months we have known each other. I have a soft spot in my heart for Rabbi Alana as well, and I thank my friend and partner Jen Cole and her team for bringing us the rabbi that we needed. Rabbi Alana has led us with compassion throughout this pandemic, engaging with each family that has suffered emotionally or physically. 2/3 of my family contracted the coronavirus. Our hearts dropped when our 1-year-old grandson went to the ER with fever, coughing, low blood oxygen, and congested lungs. I called Rabbi, and she helped me pray, and thank God Jake was running around within days. Thank you, Rabbi, for being there for my family and for many, many others. We're very fortunate to have both Rabbi Lana and Cantor Josh as our leaders. We have been communicating since April that BHSS is here for you. We made the commitment that families that were suffering financially need only pay what they could afford. I can assure you this is happening. To keep our finances in balance, we rely on those who can make an additional contribution to do so. And today is the day for all of us to step up and demonstrate that we believe our Jewish community is important, as it has been for 50 years. I'd like to give you comfort that we're doing all we can to find additional funding sources. We applied for an SBA PPP loan. It was an unnerving process. The online application wanted our ownership structure, but did not have a place for not-for-profits, which we obviously are. When asked for the first owner's name, I asked Iris to type in her name. The application then needed her percent ownership, and Iris asked me, "Now what, Harvey?" I explained that she was one of 340 members, so her ownership share was 1 divided by 340, or 0.3%, and Iris typed that in. The application then asked for the second owner, and Iris gave me a less gentle, "Now what, Harvey?" For the first name, I said, type in B-E-T-H. And for the last name, yes, you guessed it, H-A-V-E-R-I-M. Those two words, Beth Havarim, or more appropriately, Beth Havarim Shir Shalom, represent all the rest of us, as we are indeed owners of this congregation. Iris hit submit, and we're on our way. The message here is not just about securing an SBA loan. It's the recognition that each of us is an owner of this congregation. And as I joke with my Catholic friends, we cannot turn to the Pope in Rome for financial help. We need to look within our own four walls. It's been said by some that BHSS is not a giving congregation. I take great exception to that statement, having witnessed several outpourings of generosity. Our sanctuary and school wing were funded by the Kahila campaign that I co-led with Evelyn McGilloway 20 years ago. 3 families pledged $100,000 each. 61 families pledged between $5,000 and $75,000. And there were an additional 81 contributions, including 8 members at $100 and 1 at $50. Every contribution was welcomed, and we raised over $1.5 million. And we thank Andrew McVeigh, son of our educator, and my friends Rebecca and Rod, who contributed $300 from his bar mitzvah gifts. You can be confident that Rebecca is not only teaching your children Hebrew, but Jewish values as well. A decade later, my dear friend Evelyn encouraged us to establish an endowment, and we did that, initially funded by $50,000 raised in an ad journal. Rabbi Mosbacher and I led a campaign to build the endowment, and we raised over $200,000. The endowment has supported the RAC trip and the family retreat for many years, cutting the cost per attendee in half and dramatically growing attendance. Most recently, the endowment is funding a tent for our front lawn, enabling us to gather outdoors as a community. And finally, on Yom Kippur in 2015, I asked members to contribute to the furnishing of the Ulam as it was being completed. 118 members contributed in honor of Iris, whom we thank for her endless love, compassion, and commitment to our community. We raised over $45,000. The Ulam has been a wonderful addition to our facilities, and thanks to all who supported its furnishing. You now see that giving is part of our culture. We built a sanctuary and classrooms. We created a large and vital endowment to support our programming, and we furnished a new social and meeting space. Our call to action this year is different, though. We're working our way through an uncertain and unsettling environment. Brand names we grew up with are gone. Schools and colleges are suffering. Millions of small businesses are teetering or are just gone. While we are a synagogue, we are also a small business with 7 full-time staff and 12 part-time teachers. We need to generate cash from dues, fees, and contributions to cover a $1.2 million expense base every year. Your response to this high holiday appeal is as important as the 3 capital campaigns that I described, not because of the amount of money we raise, but because your participation demonstrates that we are united as a congregation to ensure that Jewish communities like ours thrive for decades to come. To me, having a synagogue as a safe haven for Jews to pray, to gather socially, and to educate our children is simply essential. We're fortunate to have a rainy day fund to help us get through times like this, but my intuition is it will keep raining for quite a while. I ask you, with all my heart, to consider whether sustaining and growing this Jewish community is important for you and for your family. If yes, now is the time to show your support. My father's words to me, "Give until it hurts," still ring in my ears. But Rabbi Alana's words to me, "Give until it heals," ring even clearer. So together, let's bring healing and health to each of our families and all others in our community. Every dollar heals, whether you're able to contribute $18, $180, or $1,800. When I mentioned to my friend Manon Wishler that I was giving this appeal, we bantered back and forth about the highest percentage of members contributing that we had achieved individually or in tandem over our many appeals. Renan was president and treasurer of the synagogue and has been my public and private partner on numerous efforts to make BHSS a better place. I'll step aside for a moment and give the mic to Renan.
Thank you, Harvey. As the old-timers know, you and I have an ongoing effort to see who can get more members to participate in this appeal. And because our goal has always been based on participation, it is based on the percentage. We agreed that the best either of us have ever done was 53%. That is dismal. Not only do we want to beat that percentage this year, I want you to be able to smash our record. And the Wishler family is willing to give every congregant some added incentive. The Wishler family will donate $10 for each family that contributes to this appeal. And if we top the 53%, then we're going to raise our match to $18 per family. Guess what, Harvey? The Weinberg family will be doing the same. So now we have a match of $20 per family, and when we break the record, it's going to be $36 per family. It'll be our pleasures to write the match of $36 per family and write these checks to BHSS. And should there be other families able and willing to join in our match, I promise no one's going to turn you away. Before I pass the mic back to Harvey, I wish you all a safe and healthy Shana Tova.
Thanks for deciding my contribution this year, Renan. I really appreciate that, buddy. I owe you one. We have not charged for holiday tickets this year for members, guests, as well as non-member guests. Given our use of Zoom and streaming, that would have been impractical, but also runs against our deep desire to keep our doors open to all who want to be part of our community on these high holy days and thereafter. Yet, our foregone revenue from ticket sales is large. I'm asking all who are participating as guests to make a significant donation. And I thank all of our guests for being with us today. To those members who have not completed their membership and school paperwork, please call Iris tomorrow. There's still time to enroll in school, and we will continue to offer dues accommodations. And even if you've told Iris that you will not return this year, our doors are open and our phones are working, so please reconsider and call Iris tomorrow. All members should have a contribution card in your mailbox today. I ask all of you, members and guests, to make a note now to call Iris tomorrow and make your pledge. Be safe, be well, be generous, and have a happy, healthy New Year. And with a final Zoom hug for Phil Moss, Eddie Safe, Evelyn McGilloway, and Barbara Burkhardt, who are my mentors, I wish everyone a Shana Tova.